You ready?
Yeah.
And we are here. Hello, everybody. You know me. Okay. No, you don't. But you. Oh, drat. Where'd it go? Haha. You know who I am. I'm Issa J, your Smart Wrestling Alliance heavyweight champion. And to my left is.
Liam Landry.
That's right. He represents, well, Liam Landry. And so.
With Liam on me.
They're used to me just me staying in my room. I don't want you to think I'm being rude. I just go in there, close the door, and I watch the game. Is that okay?
Yeah.
I don't want you to
I'm
think
just
I'm
going
being
to be
rude.
chilling here
They're
too.
used to me doing that.
Okay. Oh, I can't put this in my phone.
It's all good. And those are our
That was stupid.
behind the scenes compadres.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, so shooting with Smarky family, we're back on a weekly basis, which is cool. And quite a lot of stuff happened. But how was your week? This week's sir?
Some ups and downs all arounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's mostly that really.
No, okay. Yeah, mine consists of that because I watched BoJack Horseman. I was like, all the emotions, and I still, I can't say who my favorite character is right now because I want to see when she watches it if she can guess who it is. So, but yeah, his episode or her episode focused on that character was it was so funny. It was great. I loved it.
And
So your favorite
spoiler, it's the
character is a
NPC.
woman.
It's the NPC's whale.
His character is great.
He is. That's actually Keith Olbermann.
Hmm.
Did you know that?
Nope, didn't know that.
Didn't think he could actually be funny.
Randy, is this you, Randy? They calling it the BoJack. The BoJack, the horse. Wait, how do they say that? It was funny. Basically, it was a jack off joke. But yeah, that one was funny. Yeah. And I hear you finally, not finally, but you have finished season 2 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I finished season 2, and now I have season 3 and 4 that you gave me, so
Mhm.
just
Our-
not let HBO know that.
Yes. Our
Don't share them. Oh, I also found out that it actually stands for Home Box.
Mhm.
Yeah, Home Box
Office. Yeah.
I didn't know what HBO stood for, so.
But the fun fact about our little pact of you watch BoJack, I'll watch Game of Thrones, or actually vice versa, because I'm the one speaking, is I feel like we both now became fans of the other guy's show, so that's really cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, now let's jump into our show. It is the news outside of the WWE, and quite a bit has been going on.
Yeah. Oh, just on the thing that I needed. There we go. Now I'm back. We'll just talk about a little something in ROH
Mm-hmm.
featuring, well, the guy we definitely know would be DJ's boy if he actually watched New Japan with us.
Mm-hmm. True.
And that's Juice Robinson. He is as he's doing more stuff in ROH. Of course, ROH is trying to do a lot to get more people in
Mhm.
there because they're worried about AEW. So it's it's very plain to see there. That's it. But in order to do that, they're trying to get Juice Robinson to do more things with them full time. He's already made some appearances, but he went to another ROH show just this past week
Yeah.
to go out and say, he had a nice promo talking about the foundation of ROH. A lot of guys who ended up going to WWE, AJ Styles, Mojo, Bryan Danielson, Tyler Black, who's Seth Rollins. Um, but he said, they were the lifeblood, and they need to something new to revigorate ROH. So he named his new faction he saw a new faction called Lifeblood. It's going to feature Juice Robinson, Mark Haskins, Bandito, Dave Finlay, of course, Tracy Williams, and Tennille Dashwood. So that's a lot of guys who are up and coming names. Bandito really got put on, very highly on the scene with his involvement in All In, and also his involvement with the Battle for Los Angeles last year. Yeah. So he's become a very popular name very quickly.
And he's watching his stuff when we were watching All In. That guy was great. Bandito is definitely a talent that anybody would be lucky to have. And I'm pretty sure WWE tried to get him too.
Yeah, I think they probably did. But of course we know Juice Robinson and Dave Finlay a lot more. Yes. From New Japan. Now Tennille Dashwood, former Emma. Of course, also know more about her. Don't know as much about her when it's out of WWE stuff. Of course, we're already exposed to her. Some of the guys like Mark Haskins, I have heard of before. Don't believe I heard Tracy Williams before. So, but I mean, I'm sure, like they say, it's a lot of guys who are going to be the next big names in indie wrestling.
Yeah.
And be the new lifeblood. One would assume, just with Juice's character, that it's going to be a face stable.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard to tell because there's not really a lot of face stables when you really think of it. So many turn in heel. Even with New Japan, like all those stables, the real ones at least are heels. Because Taguchi Japan isn't like a real, officially recognized stable. Well, kind of is, kind of isn't type of deal. So you would think it's a face one, but you also question. I think Tennille Dashwood does a lot of heel work. So I don't know. We'll see going forward. Be real interesting.
I'm curious about to see where that goes. And then also in the news, All Elite Wrestling, or the Elite, have been popping up here and there for a lot of indie shows and promotions and stuff. Bar Wrestling got a little surprise, and the other one you said was
Defy Wrestling in their Seattle show.
So that's interesting in and of itself, because that has a lot of implications that they might be able to work with other indie scenes, kind of like what WWE is doing in the UK, but in America. And I know a lot of people, a lot of the indie wrestlers are into New Japan and have been keeping their eye on New Japan and having the opportunity to work with All Elite Wrestling when they are becoming this big thing is not only great for us but great for them. And it was really funny how Joey Ryan is kind of on board with them now. We kind of expected that, but now it's official. The Young Bucks just making an appearance when a guy had his back turned to them and was just focused on Brandy Rhodes. Brandy Rhodes giving a spear better than Edge's. It was all good stuff.
Yeah, a lot of entertaining stuff. Good guerrilla marketing campaign going. Hopefully they get to be able to turn that around into something, because you're keeping attention on them. Hopefully they get to be able to say, hey, here's our TV deal. So far, it still looks like a TNT, TBS, or one of their other brands underneath them.
I would like for it to be TBS if it was one of the two, because those guys are really funny, and I feel like TBS would fit better.
Yeah. Yeah, but at least it still helps pull more eyes to their new events. And yeah, it's just real entertaining stuff. What I really would like to see, though, is them in these events, maybe having more, like maybe they, like Young Bucks go out there, but now they're getting outnumbered by the other people in there, and then go in to be rescued by another person you know. So that's kind of like their official thing. It's like that person's now in AEW. He's like a person we didn't actually know before. Oh, actually thinking one new AEW signing is we talked about him last week, not on the podcast, but outside, is Jungle Boy. He actually said that
Yes.
he is going to be in AEW. So it is a big appearance, but someone like that, just like Young
That
Bucks
is
come out
really
to like
because
interfere or something.
I know I heard that he was talking about like another promotion, but that's pretty big because uh, when we were talking about him being Joey, is it Joey? No,
No.
Odrat.
Um,
Perry.
Perry,
Joel.
yeah.
Joe. What is his Luke? Luke Perry.
Perry, yeah.
Luke Perry's son. It's really cool for that for him to have is now getting all this recognition even more in getting something as big as All Elite Wrestling. He's probably going to be a star there.
Yeah, yeah, and it leads us closer to our Riverdale Arrow crossover.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because now Elite has connections to both shows, so very possible.
That's funny.
Yes. Yeah.
So being the Elite is gonna, or maybe not just being the Elite, but All Elite Wrestling is gonna be a part of the Arrowverse.
Yeah. Yeah, Arrowverse and Riverdaleverse, the Archieverse. Then they're also going to put Sabrina in there because it's also part of the Archieverse as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's massive crossovers, all at double or nothing. But anyways, yeah, you have that. So that was some big news for pickups. Going back to also ROH, there was another big signing there. We talked about him before, working with MLW, but he will no longer be working there because he has an exclusive American contract with ROH, and that's Roosh, the leader of Los Angeles Panables. Of course, it makes sense. ROH has working relations with CMLL, so it's pretty obvious. Of course, he was working with MLW before, and I'm sure still has some stuff taped and working with them. And I don't even know, like, maybe when this contract kicks in. Actually, he just had a match this week against Shane Strickland in MLW. Guy actually trying to get it into WWE. But anyways, yeah, Roosh went to ROH. And something else I found out this week, his brother, it's kind of questionable if he may go. He did some MLW stuff, and it's someone you actually know.
Ooh.
Think of CMLL character guys that you know.
CMLL characters that I know.
And seen wrestle. Then I definitely know you've seen wrestle.
Oh, okay. I'm not really. I don't really know all of the CMLL guys. I know more people from AAA.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like you don't know many, so it should help narrow it down.
Does he wear a mask?
Yes.
Okay. And he's not one of the Park, because I think L.A. Park and his son is in AAA.
They do both.
Is he? Roosh is a. Is he
a heel?
Hispanic?
Yeah.
Okay. So his brother's Hispanic. He wears a mask.
You've seen him
And
wrestle.
I've seen it. Is it Bandito?
No.
Oh, is it?
I don't think Bandito's ever worked with CMLL actually.
Oh, okay.
I think you've seen him in New Japan.
Oh, wait. Is it Dragon Lee?
Yeah. That's
Okay,
actually
cool.
his brother is Dragon Lee. That's what I found out, which is interesting. Especially in CMLL, Roosh is a Rudo, which is bad guy for Mexican wrestling, and Dragon Lee is a Technico, which is what they call the faces there. But yeah, it's actually there. So no word yet on it, but I thought that was kind of an interesting thing. And he is a guy that people will be looking at, still working with MLW. This, of course, doesn't stop Roosh from working in Mexico. This is only an American exclusive contract, so he can work with whoever he wants in Mexico. Well, with that contract, with CML, what that allows him to do. And of course, in Japan, I guess that's pretty open because he hasn't had any contract with anyone over there.
Yeah.
So that, but also kind of interesting is that Dragon Lee is also in a reality TV show. He's been doing that.
Interesting.
I've seen one picture from it, and it seems like like Survivor, but for luchadors. Like everyone had masks.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
that's some interesting television. But anyways, yeah. Though another interesting fact is that Roosh and Dragon Lee were both being looked at by WWE as
Hmm.
potential targets. I don't know if you heard that, but one thing that stopped them from going to WWE, do you know what it is?
Is it the treatment of none other than the Lucha House Party?
No, no, it's actually another group. Well, not another group. It's another person. It's Andrade, as it's now apparently is. Andrade is reported to have actually told Roosh and Dragon Lee not to go to WWE. It's
Wow.
not even this treatment. Like they asked him personally, and he's like, no. So that's actually a crazy thing there. But yeah, so talks about how Andrade is feeling about about WWE right now.
Hmm.
Um, and you know they, well, we'll get to it in the news inside WWE segment.
Okay,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, so that's kind of an interesting turn
That's
there.
funny.
Yeah, so he saves Roosh from going to WWE and instead going to ROH. And of course, Dragon Lee could end up following him
Yeah,
because they're kind
if
of like
that's the
the
case, and Andrade Cien Almas is still getting his push, then that, that that's interesting. That does change a lot in WWE.
yes, but yeah, because I mean they're kind of like the other two big brothers in Mexican wrestling scene right now because it's them, and then it's
The
the
Lucha
Lucha
Bros.
Bros. Yeah,
They should be probably, possibly, potentially heading to AEW
I
as
mean
well.
yeah, it's like everyone's gonna be looking for the Lucha Brothers to try to
Hmm.
sign them up, WWE or ROH, AEW. So, but yeah, that's another possible for AEW is Lucha Brothers.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I am hoping Lucha Bros survive and go to AEW versus WWE, because WWE still has some time, still has some work to do in order to actually change. There's still a lot that they're doing that is just eye rolling cringiness.
Yeah, I think that's still one of the big things when it comes to a developing market and why they're not going to be able to compete really in Japan and
Hmm.
Mexico with an NXT based there is that I feel there's a lot of people in those companies, or well, in those countries really, that look at WWE and even think of concepts of racism.
Hmm.
Because I mean, it's not only just never really getting pushed well, you also have a long history of very racist gimmicks given to these to
Yeah.
really high quality Asian wrestlers and Hispanic wrestlers going there. So,
Especially with not so much the Great Sasuke, but what was his name?
like
The one with the sword and
the
cuts.
choppy people.
Yes,
Yes.
that's a bit much. That was a bit much.
Yeah. It's not good at all.
And then having what's his face be Tenchi. I don't think that's what he was called though. The big white guy, and he had
Oh,
all those.
Tensai?
Yeah, that's it. That's also a bit much.
Then you
So
had that one where it was, uh, I forget who it was, and I know Super Crazy was one, maybe saying, but you know whatever it was the three Hispanic guys that were in a gimmick where they were like they were kind of taking some of the stereotypes and I guess it was supposed to be flipping on the head, but it was
Mhm.
kind of interesting. Like they came out riding lawnmowers. So
okay, yeah, I know what you're talking
yeah,
about
I don't
now.
know how well it ended up flipping it on its head, but yeah,
I think Chavo was one of them, and then they repackaged him to be like just a white guy, and then
yeah,
they
Colonel
repackaged him
White.
again to be Eddie Guerrero Light, and then they repackaged him again, and that's when he left. And he hasn't
Yeah,
been back since.
but also keeping it in Lucha uh, news
Mm-hmm.
and still outside. we're gonna talk about some Lucha Underground problems,
Oh yeah.
as it seems that they have some wrestlers. Eva Lise has come out and said it, online, made it real public that she wanted out of a contract, and stated that they were initially allowing. They told them, like, after this season's done, anyone who wants out of their contract can get out of the contract, but
Hmm.
now they're still stopping people from doing that. Eva Lise is definitely one. She's come out forward saying it, but there's been others who said it. I definitely know. Like she said before, Shane Strickland wants to go to WWE, so
Hmm.
so he's also one who wants out of the contract. So it's a lot of negativity here, a lot of people upset with the
I
management
would
at Lucha
love to
Underground.
see Evilise go to AEW.
Yes,
That'd be awesome. But yeah, it's really
I mean
it's sadly unfortunate.
they definitely need to add some more women. I mean, so far, if Randy Rose does fight, it's like two women right now. It's their women's division, so they need to add some more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seems a bit. But I think they'll end up getting a good, healthy roster.
Oh, they will. They just need to do it though. But anyways, yeah. So that's what do you think of the scenario there?
I think it's just messed up that they're holding them hostage, like her words suggest that they want that fifth season, and now that it's very possible they'll get it, they're just like, oh no, you can't leave, so we need you to stay. So it it sucks, it really does. And from what I can remember, they haven't really been using Evilise to her abilities, and since the first season, and that's upsetting. And a lot of craziness has been going on. Like they got taken off of Netflix, and it's just a whole thing. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see what happens. We'll keep our eye on it and see what goes down. I guess that's all for the news outside this
Yeah.
week.
Mm-hmm.
Now a lot of not not so much a lot of news, but news with a lot of implications within the WWE. So
Yeah, it's a lot.
segment number two, news inside WWE.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot different than a Lucha Underground situation. No one getting out of their contract here, right?
Oh, so true.
Yeah, but yeah, it's I guess we'll just start with that because that's some of the big news.
Mm-hmm.
Is rumors of people wanting out and even people asking for their release. Um, One big one that is speculated for a while now has been the revival.
Yep.
Uh, Already going and trademarking the FTR hashtag, going that putting that on their, putting that on their wrestling gear and all. But now it's being reported, I believe, by Dave Meltzer himself, that after their match, after they probably lost the Lucha House Party,
Oh,
because
they
that's
did win.
they won. Okay. Oof.
Yes, they did win.
At least after they beat Lucha House Party, they went back and didn't even change out of their outfits. They just demanded their release from the company. It's of course not going to be given, but it's at least a thing that they can do. Even if it's just being used as a bargaining tool, it's at least something there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they definitely won out. It's has not been a real good run in the main roster there, and it seems like they
Not
want to
in the
leave.
slightest.
Mm-hmm. Then some other rumors. Did you want to take it because you knew about more about
Yes.
Dave?
So there was also uh, first there was also rumors with Dolph Ziggler. People saying how he was offered a production or producing role, and he turned that down. So that also has a lot of implications that he might start now finally getting really fed up with how WWE's treating him, and he's virtually been a lifer. And the fact that they want him to take a back seat instead of keep wrestling and keep enhancing other talent. So that right there is interesting in and of itself. But there is another duo that people speculated and rumored that they've asked for their release as well, and that is the lovey-dovey couple of Mike and Maria Kanellis, or Mike and Maria Bennett, depending on where they are, if they're in WWE or on the Indies. And the big thing here is Maria Kanellis actually sent out a tweet saying how she's sick and tired of all these rumors and she doesn't know where they came from. Her and Mike did not ask for their release, and they haven't done it, and they aren't doing that. So they want the rumors to stop. And is this a bait and switch to where she's just saying this just to get the heat off of them, or is this completely and totally honest? And hey, yeah, she is not asking for her release.
You know, it could also be a communication issue, because a lot of the rumors were actually saying it was just Mike.
Mm-hmm.
That Maria wasn't actually asking for a release, but Mike was. So maybe he's asking for his release and didn't tell his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Yeah, and then it says here that this is a quote from Maria Canales' Twitter, and also Instagram. Well, let's just go to the Instagram because it's connected, and there's more words on the Instagram than Twitter allows. And it says,
oh, there's also a picture.
There's a picture of her little baby.
Yeah, it's cute.
So, yeah, I was not going to address this, but I am getting phone calls and emails about it. I did not ask for my release. Speculation and rumors are running rampant. Someone is playing all the wrestling news sites. It's a game. I've been in professional wrestling for 15 years, and what I do in front of the camera will only be a small part of the full story. I have a relationship with fans, talent, producers, and their families. I have been in the hospital when people have been injured and backstage to hug someone that just had a great match. I don't need to stir up expletives. I don't need to put others down. I am an imperfect human that has learned from past mistakes. Whoever is leaking rumors, I pity you and your desperate attempt for attention while disparaging my husband and I. I'm gonna take the weekend off of social media to hang out with my beautiful family, and I suggest whoever it is does the same. Social media is not fact, it is fantasy, a nightmare, or a place for bullies. I want to use this for motivation to be positive every day. I am still learning how to be a mom. I still fight postpartum depression, and I still try and become a better person every day. I don't need this made up extra stress. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend, and thank you for your support. So kind of that
I will
message,
point out that it sounds interesting that she said I didn't ask for my release
instead of we.
Yes.
Yeah, I do see that as well.
It
But
could be a phrase just to get people from talking about it, because that's clearly what she wants to do, and she wants it to stop being talked about. But it could always be a thing where he does want his release. I mean, it's not impossible for wrestling married couples to work.
Look at Nick Aldis and Mickey James.
Yes.
So
It took me so long to figure that out. Like even with her Twitter name having Aldis in it,
yeah,
I never put that together until I saw a video of them two.
but yeah, so we'll definitely stay up on this news as well, because it is pretty big that if it's not her and just her husband, or if it's neither of them, it's an interesting story piece to be had. And it's really cool that she decided to take the weekend off of social media, as well as trying to have people to stay positive and try to focus on positive things and not the negative so much. So we give all the good vibes and thoughts and prayers to the Canels or the Bennett family, and hope that they have all the good stuff happen to them. Anything else inside of WWE?
Yeah, if you want to talk about some good news.
Yeah, we need
We
some
have,
good news every now and again.
Yeah, we actually had a marriage, I believe it was,
Yes,
between Nikki Cross and Killian Dane.
which is awesome.
Did you see their 10-year photo?
Yes,
He
he does not look like
no,
the
he
same
looks
at all.
so different.
He has short hair. He has a red streak across it. I thought she accidentally posted
Looks-
an ex-boyfriend.
He looks smaller and less
Very much
beastly-like.
smaller.
Yeah.
I thought it was, oh, drat, he's not going to be happy with this photo. But apparently that is him.
Then the other picture with the wedding rings, it just looks like she puts her picture up, hand up next to like a hairless bear's hand.
Mm-hmm.
As a massive fan. So yeah, congratulations to those two.
Yeah. So that's Sarah Logan
Come on.
and her husband now, just last year, and Nikki and Killian. That's awesome.
The Killian.
It was.
Yes,
I was watching the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast, and it was really funny because they used to know him. Jack the Jobber just ends up going, "Oh, that's my boy, Big Damo." It's like very few people outside of the UK are going to get that, but that's funny. It was also funny because he almost accidentally said, "Oh, what's his? Oh, drat! What wrestler was that? The one who had a feud early on when it was still WCPW with Joe Coffey. It was I think it was Joe Coffey. He also has long hair. He doesn't speak. He grumbles a lot. He has an animal style gimmick.
I don't know. But
Well,
anyway.
he almost actually said that guy's shoot name on camera, and I was like, "Oh, drat, calm down. We know you know those guys."
But no, anyways, it's just good big congratulations to those two.
Mhm, definitely.
Be positive, always happy for a good love story. More reasons why Nikki Cross may not end up going to SmackDown. Because they've had a tradition in the past of separating married
Mhm.
couples.
Well,
For whatever reason.
so far, every married couple is on the same brand right at
Yeah.
this moment.
Yeah, so that's good. They definitely
Yeah.
should be together. Nikki Cross
Dean
really
and
should be
Renee
with
are on the
Sandy.
same. Yeah, like Dean and Renee is on the same.
To be fair, that one should probably be split because it just makes it awkward for any time he has a match.
Or they just turn her heel too.
Yeah, or just not acknowledge it. You can do that,
That
too.
too.
Yeah, I don't think it was ever acknowledged in kayfabe before they brought it up here.
I know that is true.
So
that is
they
very
didn't.
True.
So they never had to bring it up.
Also, Rusev and Lana.
To be fair, she's not really married to Dean
Usos.
Ambrose. She's married to whatever Dean Ambrose's real name is.
Exactly.
So yeah. But yeah, hopefully they get together. Both wrestling reasons, and also I'm sure it's better to be together.
Might as well just. Yeah, it'd be really cool to see a good tag team on SmackDown like them and be represented well, but might as well just throw them over to Raw really soon with Nikki, have all sanity, and let them do their thing. Actually let them do their thing. And let them be high profile like the Bar was when they were on Raw. Because it really feels like they're lost in the shuffle. They were shown up 2 weeks before the Christmas break happened. We haven't seen them since again, so it's really frustrating.
But other news, they have. Must have been this past week. It feels like it's been much longer, but Finn Balor now in Braun Strowman's position.
Oh yeah,
to
that
fight
happened
Brock
on
Lesnar.
Monday.
Yeah, at that Raw. Like for whatever reason, this Monday feels like it happened weeks ago.
I do
But-
understand that.
But
That's
yeah,
right.
they have. He's put there. There's speculation behind it is that, for the most part, Vince McMahon doesn't want Braun Strowman to lose to Brock Lesnar again because he thinks it ruins the value. It's a little late to be on that point now,
Mhm.
but it's
3 losses already.
yeah, at least a good sentiment, I guess. That's what should have happened earlier.
And also there was a little rumor that Stephen Larson talked about, which I'll address here, is that he thought that just having Finn Balor have it outright wouldn't draw enough of a crowd, and Finn versus Brock wouldn't be a draw, which I think is just ridiculous. Because ever since Finn got announced, everyone was like, "Yeah, Brock actually likes working with smaller guys. So this is actually going to be a good match. He's actually going to work."
That was another rumor too, is that Brock
Mhm.
Lesnar wanted to work with Finn Balor.
Mm-hmm.
So when Brock wants to actually work with someone, he'll put on a good match. So.
Yeah, like you could tell he wanted to work with John Cena. You could tell he wanted to work with Daniel. You could tell he wanted to work with AJ, because he was selling like death whenever he had to. You didn't really see that much with Roman Reigns after the third or fourth time. You didn't see that much with Randy Orton, and didn't see that much
With Braun Strowman?
with Braun Strowman. You could tell he didn't want to, because he knocked the heck out of him in the face.
Yeah. Maybe Brock Lesnar is kind of like Triple H, bigger guy, but he likes small guy wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But yeah, so there's that.
So I think it's actually going to be a good match.
Yeah.
I think they're going to do a good job.
Could be a good match. There was other stuff that happened on Raw and also on SmackDown that caused controversy. I didn't know if you wanted to do that in the news segment or if that was going to be a rant.
Well, we took off the rant for a little while, so we'll do that as a new segment.
Okay, we had
the return of the sexy. What do you call that? The sexy segments.
That's what they were? I didn't think they were sexy.
No one really thought they were sexy, but they go back to that time, especially with the Ruthless Aggression era, where they would have gratuitous, "Ooh, I'm naked, look at me. Oh, drat, I'm doing something raunchy for views." That's basically what this was.
Oh yeah, the Kelly sex striptease.
That, or the live sex show in the middle of the ring, or Dawn Marie and Tori Wilson.
The one time they had strip poker.
Mm-hmm. And nothing got taken off.
Yeah. Okay, going into that, we of course had the segment where it was very awkwardly and just poorly done segment, even beyond what the idea was, where someone, I was gonna say bodge, but he didn't even really bodge. He's like knocked multiple times.
Yeah, he knocked. He announced him. He's like, "All right, I'm coming in."
And then you had Alexa Bliss, who was right there, who clearly would have heard the knocking and the announcing.
I mean, all they've had to do to fix this was just put earbuds in her, like earphones in her ear, or headphones on her.
Yeah, listening to
give
something.
her. Yeah.
Or maybe like he comes in and then she's like walking out from the back.
Mm-hmm. Something.
Yeah.
But even then, didn't really need to be here.
No, I didn't need to be here at all. I guess they're for YouTube views. Because I mean, it's not like
quite a bit.
Yeah, it did. It did get a lot. But yeah, it was a very awkward segment where Alexa Bliss would have to cover up last second. I mean, you didn't. It even seemed like both people didn't want to even shoot it because it wasn't even acted really well.
They probably didn't.
Yeah.
And then the next one is there's one more big piece of news after this, but the other one was Mandy Rose in a hotel with Jimmy, and she strips, and a cameraman jumps in and starts taking pictures, and like, I'm gonna ruin your marriage. Which just kayfabe wise, let's analyze this. Mandy Rose is demented.
Yes. I mean,
because she doesn't like someone, she's going to try to ruin their marriage. What? Who does that?
It's also crazy when you think of it, because it's like, I'm going to ruin your marriage by having this camera guy pop up and take pictures, and it's like, well, we're already on camera. This is being
the whole
recorded.
The whole thing felt like it was trying to be a movie. You'd have Jimmy just take a breath. You see him put the key in. It cuts to Mandy. Cuts back to him walking in. Cuts to Mandy just doing something with her hair, trying to be sexy, and I'm just over here like, what are they doing?
Yeah, it's like normally when they've had stuff where it's like cheaters caught in the act type things. It was it it was shown to us as a hidden camera type segment,
Mm-hmm.
like the Edge with Alicia Fox or Vicky with Big Show type scenarios. It was brought to us as like this hidden camera, so it would make sense in the world. So when you do that before and you have it now, you can't just pretend like the camera's not there recording all this as it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's either all or never. So it doesn't make sense. You see the video there. Not to mention that you know Naomi already believes that you're a liar. So it doesn't even like what these pictures prove, you know.
Mm-hmm. And then my favorite part, because I actually
I don't
watched
even
this
know
episode
what
of SmackDown.
I don't even know what you get because like that just makes Naomi angry at you and wants to beat you up. That's what the
Mhm.
job is. Like you want to get
But
beat up.
that's what ended up happening at the end. They got into a fight, but I actually watched this episode of SmackDown, and I love the part before any of this happens where Sonya Deville is talking to Mandy Rose, and she's not having any of this dialogue. She's not giving it her 100%. And there's a point where she's like, "I'm just doing this because I hate Naomi," and you just see Sonya Deville roll her eyes, like the biggest eye roll, and it's like she does not like this content at all. She wishes she was not here. And we were promised Carmella versus Sonya Deville. I wanted to see that match. Dang it. But yeah, I hope they give Sonya Deville something better because she deserves so much more. Actually, I hope they deserve. I hope they give all of those women something better, but especially Sonya Deville.
Yeah, that's dumb segments and
Mm-hmm.
just get some YouTube views. But I mean, I think if they just had like all the WWE superstars do some Fortnite dances, then
Mhm.
you probably would have done better.
And the last piece of news that, unless you can think of anything else, is we finally got to see with our own eyes the Raw, or not the Raw, but the Women's Tag Team Championship belts, and they look pretty. They're probably the best looking belts on the show right now,
Well, it's probably the
not
only.
including NXT belts.
Well, it's probably the only one that actually looks different.
True.
That's a benefit for it, but it does look really nice. Um, I've seen some of the segment for it, um, if only for Alexa Bliss and Paul Heyman.
hmm The ending was very
Yeah.
awkward.
Yes, with Otis Dozovic.
Yes,
Yeah, that's the
and
other
like,
thing I was gonna add.
pretty lady, and
That
then you just, and then you hear the bell, the announcer dude in the ring, and then you see Paul Heyman and Alexa Bliss like, wait, is this how it's supposed to go down? We don't know what to do.
that-
Let's just awkwardly leave now.
since that was gonna be the thing that would be my rant, but since we're not doing that, so what we'll just
Mhm.
cover the news is the horrible way they kind of debut.
Oh
The
yeah.
wrestlers. It's like you had that, and then he made some like milkshake thing with the New Day.
That was actually really funny.
That probably would have been funny. It's just a weird way to do it.
Very weird.
You
Very
have
true.
a point where Lacey Evans is talking with who was it that she was talking with?
I didn't
Like just
catch
pass
all
by
of
and
Raw.
you see it, but like just in the background, and it's like, why are you doing this? Why not debut them like actual wrestlers?
Poor
This doesn't-
EC3, he has like a whole narcissistic gimmick again.
Yeah, this isn't the way that you like debut people
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, number one, there's so many wrestlers they don't even use. They may just think that's just some like background wrestler that's been on the main roster for a few years
Yeah.
that they're just seeing in the background, and it
Makes them feel like jobbers or enhancement talent versus someone that's a big deal. Especially when we know they definitely can be a big deal.
And it was really just awkward. I mean, for all the people who don't know Otis,
Mm-hmm.
he just left as confused as Isaac was. With
Who?
as confused as Issa was.
Oh, okay. I was wondering who that was.
Well,
Sorry, I was thinking of the
now
other guy.
everybody knows.
Yeah. Yeah, our friend Isaac, he's not here today.
Yeah, sometimes
He's
hang out
camera
with him and
shy.
talk to him. But yeah, no, it's yeah, it was. But yeah, it was very dumb with the. I mean, it makes sense if you knew him more, but it's a poor way to actually debut him as that. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
pretty lady. And then you actually see that he does do that on Twitter to Mandy Rose as a joke.
I like, I like,
But it also kind of just puts him out there as a kind of pervy stalker guy.
very much so.
So it's
I
not a
like
good look.
what they did. I did like what they did on SmackDown with the two when they're making the thing. But the thing I like the most, you see Becky Lynch walk in, the New Day's there, and out of nowhere, it's like it was just so perfect. Uh, Cedric no, um,
Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods just pops open his shirt and he has the man shirt on. It was done so perfectly. Just pop the man and he has this expression. I was like, oh my gosh, we're in the presence of greatness. I'm like, yes, make her a big deal because she is a big deal. And it's not just because she is my absolute favorite women's wrestler on the main roster right now. That's not the only reason. She is a big deal.
Yeah.
I hope she wins next week.
And I just hope they don't look at the low ratings that SmackDown's been given and not think it has anything to do with her.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they unfairly link champions to the low ratings, even though it's the overall rating.
Is a big deal.
And
do you get it? Big dill.
Oh, okay.
It's a dill pickle.
It's a big dill. You actually said deal.
I know, but once you saw the picture, it should click.
I thought they were cucumbers.
They're big.
Well, cucumbers are just pre-pickles.
Exactly. So they look like cucumbers because they had to be bigger than because it's a big. Whatever.
Okay.
Moving on. Sorry.
Okay. Anyways, yeah. So it's very sloppy introduction of people. But yeah, that's no good. And yeah, let's just get on to the next segment.
Yeah. Which is the best segment of the week? Which is actually what the segment is called. We're not saying that this particular segment is our best segment of the week. It is literally the best segment of the week.
Normally it's just like a second or third best.
Yeah. So what was your favorite?
Well, I guess I could probably guess your favorite though, since you said you watched SmackDown.
Surprisingly, I've been going through it in my head. I'll do mine first then. It is the triple threat between Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Bobby Lashley. I only saw the last half of it, but and I am going back to watch all of it. That last half, I heard it was timed perfectly. That doesn't even that's not enough. That's not enough to say how great this match was. They had spots to where these people had to be in the right spot at the right time or it'll just be messed up, and they hit their marks on time every time. This match was the literal explanation of a perfect match. I didn't see any botches. It was a lot of fun, a lot of high paced, and it was really, really cool. And the fact that Bobby Lashley gets this massive win out of nowhere, shocking everybody. Like, no one actually thought he was getting the win. Everyone thought it was just, oh, Dean is going to win because of cheating or whatever.
Yeah.
No, it was Bobby.
Everyone was like, you don't want to make that whole heel turn and then giving him the title mean nothing by taking it off him this soon on an episode of Raw.
No, but they totally did.
Yeah.
I mean, no one from everybody that I've been watching, no one's been liking the Dean Ambrose stuff.
That's probably why they did it.
And yeah, that's exactly why. Most likely, you're right. Allegedly.
That's why I said probably.
Yeah, but so that's what's going on there. And I do agree they should totally take Dean off and let him come back in a couple weeks after the Rumble to have a better character, because they don't have that right now.
Like I
Yeah.
said, it's surprising that it wasn't Andrade. I was about to say his whole name, but it's Andrade now versus Rey
Yes, I'm
Mysterio.
just gonna continually call him Andrade Cien Almas because it's a fun name to say. Like all of it is just so much fun to say. It's like I'm speaking in another language. Andrade Cien Almas. Even though technically I am by saying Cien.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, I would go with my best segment of the week. Um.
It was a close one. It was a close one because that one was really good. It was just a little
Oh,
bit too slow for me.
I would say I didn't watch either of those. I wanted to try to go watch that match, but the SmackDown wasn't on the network yet.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have like anything from this year yet on their SmackDown and Raw
Mm.
replays, whatever reason. Um, so mine was I watched this week's NXT and MLW,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I leaned towards the match I talked about a little earlier. That was Shane Strickland
Yeah.
versus Roosh. I thought that was a really good match, and it had different pacing segments in there. It had the uh, good guy struggling to break free of the holds. You had the a lot of more fast paced segments, stuff on the outside that was good. It had a lot of fighting moments. It was a good, well rounded match and
Mm-hmm.
having everything involved with it.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. And good personality. Roosh is as a face here.
Hmm.
He's mostly face in MLW and I guess most America. Shane Strickland's the heel because they moved him into a heel gimmick. I guess since he's on his way out, since they
Mm-hmm.
known him going to WWE, uh, he's been very resentful of the company and the fans leading up to this, so he has a lot of heat behind him for that. So I thought that was a real good matchup.
And then yeah, honorable mentions is obviously.
Oh,
Uh,
also I'd add in there too. I liked kind of the opening because it was like very right in there. They'd only have like an opening segment and then go into their I guess like the theme, their actual theme and title. But the opening segment here was Shane Strickland just you know going very negative to everyone in the crowd and the company,
yeah.
and then like calling out the back and Rouge coming out, and then they have a whole match, and then they finally get to their title. So I kind of like that. I like when they shake things up, and like when any company really shakes things up and makes it seem like it's not like everything's out of order. It just kind of helps with me with making it feel more like an actual story going on. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like that match wasn't going to happen initially, but now it is, and so we have to push everything back.
Yeah.
I like that from the storytelling perspective because it just makes it feel more realistic. So
That's
that was
kind of
another
like
cool part.
how SmackDown opened with Becky and Asuka this week.
Yeah.
But one thing I did want to say is the story beats and the triple threat was really really cool
Mm-hmm.
because there are times where uh, Dean and Seth were Dean was trying to get Seth to help team up on Lashley to get him out of the picture, but Dean and Lashley and the two heels attacked the face and teamed up. But then towards that middle section, the Shield reunited, and it was a part where they just stopped because they were just doing all their moves against like their Shield moves against Lashley, and they just stopped and they stared at each other like, "Oh, we did we really just do this?" And the commentating team did a great job saying, "Oh man, it's just getting back into the natural feel of things. That they have so much history, and it's really really cool. It's a really good story beat." And then they just stare off, and usually that's when they attack each other. But in this match, they went back to Lashley and double teamed him again, which I thought was a real, and then threw him out the ring, which I thought was a really cool little bitty detail in that match. That's why I chose that one over the honorable mention of Rey Mysterio and Andrade Cien Almas.
Okay.
Even yeah, again, I just thought it was a bit too slow
Mm-hmm.
from my liking. But they had a lot of cool stuff and a really cool Canadian Destroyer. However, I think Cena does better Canadian Destroyers. Sorry, guys. As Cena makes it look like it means something. I don't, as if it's not just the opponent doing the work to take it. Cena actually makes it look like he's doing the work to give it, versus the other way around. So, good job, Cena. Who knew you could be the best at Canadian destroyers? That was the best segment of the week.
Mhm.
So moving on to, which is usually.
I was to say that they had a pretty good match between Cassius Ohno versus Keith Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I I thought it was pretty good, though it kind of ended with ref bump, low blow, which kind of is a takeaway just because of how often that ends up happening in wrestling altogether. Kind of just boring finish.
Yeah.
With Cassius Ohno getting the win. And a real kind of weird spot for Keith Lee to be in because he lost in that feud versus Lawrence Sullivan, or at least it wasn't really a feud, but one match against Lawrence Sullivan. Now this match against Cassius Ohno.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully he turns it around.
Yeah, it'd be sad to just have Keith Lee.
Because that was one of his first real matches was against Lawrence Sullivan. Like before that, he had a few squash matches, but
It'd be weird just to bring in Keith Lee just to make him a jobber.
yeah. Though it was fairly good, and then
Mm-hmm.
overall okay NXT. There's a lot more story building, I would say,
Yeah.
versus matches.
But,
Like you had multiple short matches there just to further storylines. Though NXT, uh, Phoenix is looking pretty. You know the card there with Gargano versus.
I'm excited for that match. I'm really excited for that one. Gargano versus Ricochet for the North American Championship.
And Ciampa versus Aleister Black.
Ooh. Oh, nice.
Championship, and then Bianca Belair versus Shayna Baszler.
I had a feeling it was going to be Aleister Black versus Ciampa, but I didn't want to just say that and assume it and then be wrong. But that's awesome. And I knew about Shayna and Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
Excited about that one. It's going to be a little bit weird to have heel versus heel here. So,
I mean, she's
turn
definitely
for someone.
I mean, she's definitely the one who has the most appeal behind her.
Bianca.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when they had their segment this past week, she came out to everyone going with undefeated chants because that's her big thing. Is she's on NXT at least. She was in the Mae Young Classic and lost that clearly, but on NXT she's undefeated. That's something she always done. So there's a lot of undefeated chants. A lot of people cheering her on.
I heard she lost somewhere, but I could be wrong. I'll have to go check. Because WWE likes to mess with the space and time continuum.
Bianca Belair has no memory of that. Like I said, she's going to be a big deal in the women's division as long as she's done right with great athletic talent and charisma and character working.
Yeah, she's in regards to bringing them up, the Velveteen Dream of the women's division. But she isn't like Velveteen Dream, which is great.
No, if you want to put it in the character wise, but not the character design, but the charisma level.
Yeah, and that's really cool. But off to the next segment, which is usually where we rant for however long. But this, as until WrestleMania, as long as
and Bianca Belair has a braid. That's her big thing, and that's
yes.
Yes, it's a picture of Bianca Belair and Kairi Sane, and Kairi Sane has a braid kind
and
of match.
It's so much tinier. That's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now we're on to our rant, but we're not doing the rants anymore. So last week we started it. From now until WrestleMania, we are going to, because they're doing a new era, a new shakeup of WWE, we are going to have one pitch each to WWE that we want to see happen instead, that we call, this is what we want to see. So what do you want to see, sir?
Yeah, thinking of pitches, actually, I didn't know until I was watching it this week, just because I really hasn't been watching NXT a lot,
Mm-hmm.
so I didn't see a commercial for the Royal Rumble,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know that the Royal Rumble is actually going to be in a baseball stadium.
Oh, cool.
That's actually where the Phoenix Diamonds play, Diamondbacks, I should say, Phoenix Diamondbacks. Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of interesting. I wonder how that's going to work out.
Yeah.
Guess they have to put a lot of seating in the field area.
Possibly.
Interesting. Maybe that's why you have this entrance area on the very opposite side of the diamond, like by the.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Can't wait to see.
Yeah, it's gonna be
That's
interesting.
gonna be a really cool. That's gonna be something different. So
It also, I don't know if it has a retractable roof, but it looked open air too.
Mm-hmm. I think it is.
Yeah. So. But anyways, pitches. Going into pitches, and I thought that because of baseball, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Going in for pitches. Man, I can't just say be better. Um,
That's just too easy. We have to get a little bit more specific.
uh, how about this? How about using women better?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little more specific.
Mm-hmm.
Though I guess 4 ways you use women better.
Hey, you don't use women.
You use your give your female talent better things to work with, better storylines, and just have I don't know you need better writing with it.
Mm-hmm.
You need definitely more updated writing with it, and not as really as sex appeal as it was. And you just really need some good feuds going. I mean, you don't have to make them real complex feuds. You just make them some, I don't know, just whatever you're doing with the men, except for Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. Don't do that again. But it's have some feuds going. You should have really done worked with Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, and you should have also. Oh, also I was wrong last week. His last name wasn't Deville. It's Seville. I think I
Okay.
got it confused because his first name starts with a D. It's Dave Seville, so I thought that's why I was thinking Deville. But yeah. Anyways, yeah. So you really should have worked with Sonya Deville. Hey, even their letters just kind of turn around and
Oh, there you go.
STDS. Yeah. Yeah. You should have done that with Mandy Rose or Sonya Deville. You know, you already had the Heath set up for it, the trails and all. So you could have just done that just for Blood Feud and just have Mandy Rose, still trying to work around and say like, oh, I can help you with everything in the back or something like that. Um, or like help with backstage stuff like pull backstage because that's kind of the only thing I can see use sex appeal for is if you want like you can have her what would be the best thing for it like use her sex appeal backstage to try to get stuff and have that be a driving wedge. That's the only thing I can see with using sex because at least you're putting her in an active role in it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if Shane McMahon is back in full control since they moved Paige out, I don't know. I don't watch SmackDown.
He doesn't really. The only thing he's been doing in SmackDown is teaming with.
The Miz.
Yeah, and Vince McMahon feels like he's the one calling the shots.
Then perfectly, you could have just put an angle with Vince McMahon in there, let him do it,
and
have Mandy
bring us all back to 2002.
Yeah, except have it be based around Mandy manipulating Vince McMahon
Mm-hmm.
instead of just Vince McMahon fawning over a woman. It would that would be the only way you would ever have a sex appeal thing in a modern era that actually feels right. Because, like I said, you're putting her in the position of power,
Mm-hmm.
of using herself instead of being used, and then that just drives a wedge between her and Sonya, who, you can have her still be like, hey, I can get you things too, and it's like, no, I don't want that, I want to earn it, and you can have that big edge and build a feud off of that to have a, big breakdown in a feud, a fight. Clearly, you should have done the stuff. completely what you should do with Sasha Banks and Bailey, and it's like have them fight, and then maybe someone's like, "Well, what about all that counseling?" It's like that never happened. Just completely retcon that. Yeah. It's like, what counseling are you talking about?
I had one.
Just put like before that ever happened.
Yeah.
Just like pretend that didn't happen. No one will fight that over it. That's the one time will allow you to bend reality.
True. Yeah. So this week I did have one, but since you mentioned it, I'm gonna go with this one instead and save this other one for later. And mine is having more unique sets for your pay-per-views. Like you just describing what Royal Rumble potentially could look like. Something new, something different, something fresh. And then all the other pay-per-views is always just the same bloody thing. And they only actually ever go all out for SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, and WrestleMania. But let's do something more. Let's do something more with all 12. If we're going to have all 12, let's just not make it feel like the same old thing. Because then we're just going to be like, feeling it's the same old thing with match quality or with storylines. And that's going to put a downer on everything. So, have more unique sets. Like you did in the past. With have a Halloween theme. Instead of having it Hell in a Cell, make it something Halloween themed and have a Halloween background. Or during the Christmas time, instead of calling it TLC, have something Christmassy and have all the Christmas stuff going around and make it unique, make it special, make it fun, because that is what is going to have our memories going. Not, oh, we went to TLC and it was just like every other TLC. That's not fun. That's very boring. So that's what I want to see y'all implement in the new year.
I can see Vince McMahon responded to that is that he means he wants more augmented reality.
No. That's so ridiculous. The only time the augmented reality looked good and made sense was with Demon Balor. It's the only time.
And it steals so much from the fans who are at attendance.
Mm-hmm.
Like WrestleMania feels so less impressive because they had no big entrances. It was all augmented reality stuff. So like every entrance just felt like some people walking in. Then you even had like Triple H's felt underwhelming because it was just a whole bunch of motorcycle guys, you know. And it's like
weren't they all on tricycles too? Which made it even worse.
No, him and Stephanie were on tricycles.
Okay.
I think everyone else was just regular motorcycles.
He's such a dad now.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, look how cool I am on my tricycle. And everyone is just like, oh, Hunter, why? Triple H, why?
Yeah, then he takes a selfie with the tricycle, but the tricycle's up front, and he's kind of like in the back, behind the wall, and he's like taking a picture like that.
Oh my gosh.
That was a great picture.
Wait, did that actually happen?
Yeah. Like when Ronda Rousey first came in, like she was having like a press conference thing, and he's like, you could see him like with the wall. It's like you don't know what he's doing, but he's definitely holding his phone up there, so he's definitely taking a picture.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh crud. But yeah, that's what we want to see implemented in the new year. All right, next is Book It Yourself. We did the women's last week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we're gonna book the men's. What are some story beats you want to see?
Also, I was thinking with some of those themes, like I was thinking of some themes that they could do. Like, how about a Christmas theme, like you were saying, but it's like the stage is like a house with like decorated for Christmas, but it's like all destroyed and stuff. It's like you have a Christmas tree like knocked over and has like a steel chair in it and stuff, and you have like a wall. But you have like a car driven through the wall.
I was thinking that December could be some, instead of TLC, like Hardcore Christmas, and I was thinking about a tree turned over and stuff like that. Oh, yes,
you can have like a chimney with like.
We're giving you this for free, you guys. Come on.
Yeah, Mm-hmm.
Or you can hire us and give us money, and we can actually give you these great ideas
For
and
that
put
money.
even more creative thought into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what we want to see. Yeah, so we did last week, and I'm pretty sure you wanted Asuka to win the whole thing, and I said Sonya Deville because we're biased, and the reason why I said Sonya Deville is because I want Becky Lynch to win the actual championship match and get her title back, and have Becky Lynch versus Sonya Deville. That would be awesome. Or Sonya Deville versus Asuka. That would also be awesome.
I mean, my craziness was. Mine was a little more crazy because it wasn't even Asuka being in it.
I know.
Yeah, it was just
her
her
just stealing the 30 spot and winning. Actually, no, not even stealing the 30 spot.
Coming in after. It's like countdown. It's like, what's happening? 31 Asuka. We weren't ready for this.
But yeah, now it's time to book the men's. So book it yourself. This is where we book what we want to see happen. So we're gonna go a couple story beats. We're gonna go the cool eliminations, and we're gonna go who we want to see win overall, not who we think will win. That will be another video for next week. All right, let's go. Let's do this thing.
You want to start? Or
Okay, I'll start.
I mean, no, you were sending it off to me.
Oh yeah, that's usually what tag teams do. When they don't have an idea at the moment. It's like, oh, you start it. No, you start it. Okay. One of the things is I want to see the return of 3 people. Kevin Owens. Even though, yes, I know it's rumored that he won't be back until after WrestleMania, but I want to see Kevin Owens.
I heard it's rumored that he's back soon. Because that's his Twitter handle.
Oh, nice. But I want to see Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Mr. Otunga himself. I think that's his last name. That's not his last name, is it? Rotunda. It's Rotunda. Mr. Rotunda himself, which of course is Bray Wyatt. I want to see those 3 guys make their return in the Rumble. I said the wrong last name. I'm sorry. I want to see those 3 guys into the Royal Rumble as a massive return. In regards to current roster returns, that's something I want to see. That's one of the beats. Anything you can think of as a story beat, or something special, or a return or something.
Story beat, return, or something. Yeah, I think of some feuds going forward from this that can go into big WrestleMania payoffs. Who could we put in there to do a good feud with?
It's already written. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, or Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler.
I mean, Seth Rollins has to be ready to take on Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. We all know that. But let's put that aside and say
it's what we want, not what we think.
What?
It's what we want to see happen, not what we think is going to happen.
No, I mean, that's fine. I don't care who takes on Brock Lesnar.
So you don't think Finn's winning?
No.
No one thinks Finn's winning. Poor Finn.
Okay. Well, we can have Finn Balor get into feud with someone because I'm thinking of like anyone who's in there that's not already having a title.
Well, Finn Balor's name has been taken out.
Yeah, that's right. Because I'm thinking of anyone in any good spot that doesn't have a title or currently has a feud.
Mm-hmm.
Andrade Cien Almas wins it all.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people want to see that happen.
It's a desperate plea to stop him from going to AEW.
Actually, the person I want to see win it all, it's not really shocking when you've watched us, but you might know who I'm going with, and he has an accent. He's really bloody tall, and
Sheamus.
Yeah, that's who Hannah wants to see win. Or
Drew McIntyre.
That's who Francesca wants to see win. Yes,
so
Drew McIntyre.
Both Francesca and your sister Hannah?
Yes, both of those. They're almost like the same person. When they get in a room together, it's crazy. But
just like Issa and Isaac.
Well, we're a little bit different.
They're
We
He's
he's
a
a little
little
he's
cooler.
like very shy. He doesn't like to talk. I'm a lot more out there, in front of your face, out in
Though
on the
Isaac's better
camera.
looking.
Well, yeah.
That's
That's the
true.
sad
Thanks,
part.
thanks for that.
Not
But
sorry,
anyways,
but everyone knows that.
but anyways, it has to do with Drew McIntyre being so bloody fantastic, and it'd be awesome to see him get the win and squash Brock Lesnar. Because out of anybody who would actually be able, who would Brock would allow to squash him, I see Drew McIntyre being that guy,
Okay.
and they'd have to be able
So
to put on the
other
great thing.
repeats.
Mm-hmm.
Big debut for Lars Sullivan. Go in there
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
at least tie the Roman Reigns record for eliminations. I think that would be a good, if not even break it. What would that be? 13 now? Because I think
Mm-hmm.
Kane had 11. Roman Reigns would have had 12. 13 eliminations. Um, it would be a lot, but it seems pretty fair if you want to book him as a monster heel and really make all that advertising did for him make sense.
Make the 13th person be John Cena.
Yeah, make 13 person be John Cena to set that up. John Cena versus Lars Sullivan for WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there we go. We're giving you great ideas, WWE. I don't know why you don't use them, but we would like our
And you can
our
put him
feed.
on a run. I mean, you like the concept. They like to build the concept that Lars Sullivan is also an intellectual guy
Mm-hmm.
who can talk for himself, and that you can have a was it? It must have been CM Punk where he
And he's
had
actually good on the mic.
where you had was CM Punk had a moment where it's Punk or Jericho. Might have been even Jericho. I don't know. It's one of the two where they had a thing where they like were in there eliminating guys, and then they were kind of in by themselves,
That
waiting
was
for
Punk.
the next one. Just Punk, yeah,
Yeah.
and he talked on the mic while waiting. You can have a segment where he's doing that, where you just basically eliminate him, and then you just have a point where one of the guys didn't get eliminated, you wait enough for another person to come in, maybe be like a tag team or something that can team up, or
Mhm.
even people feuding against each other, but they team up to face on Lars Sullivan, showing that he's that much bigger of a threat that they put their worries aside and
Mm-hmm.
take him out. Yeah, and so have that
Like two
happen.
people in a feud, uh, looking at each other, and being like, "Okay, we need to team up. I hate
Mhm.
you, but we're teaming up to get this guy."
Have both of them eliminate Lars Sullivan, or even hold him out for maybe a third person. But you could just do at least two, because I don't want a single person to eliminate him
Yeah.
unless it's a complete sneak from
Mm-hmm.
behind elimination. I'd rather have two or more people eliminate
Or
Lars
a
Sullivan.
cheat elimination,
Yeah.
or if it's just this other, like even if it's another big massive dude, that cheapens him too.
No, I don't want another big massive dude. I want him in with smaller guys because you want to keep him looking big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, uh, let's do like
Man, I think
two
I'm
returns.
doing all that work just for Lars Sullivan. I didn't even care for him that much in NXT. I was like, I'm trying to do more for him.
Because you know the curse of the main roster,
Yeah.
and you don't want to see that go down for him.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. Other than Velveteen Dream, two NXT guys, and two returns. Who do you want to see? Like two massive returns. Who do you want to see happen?
Two massive returns.
I know last time I did the same thing for the women, and I exceeded it. My bad. We'll end up exceeding it. If you want to exceed it, go for it. But yeah, just two is the minimum. We'll go with that.
What would I like to see? I'm trying to think like who's out there that could still really go and wrestle, but hasn't been for WWE for quite a while. Be a big name for him. Really struggling here. Mine's just going
I
blank.
know last year it was Hunter Hearst Helmsley for a night, and Rey Mysterio, but now Rey Mysterio is back in the WWE
How about it's actually Hunter Helps Holmes?
instead of the Hurricane.
No, it's Hunter Helms Hersley.
Oh, Triple H.
Yeah, it's actual. No, it's the actual gimmick
From back in the day.
then. Long hair and everything in the ponytail. um, hmm.
And it is a tough
I'm trying
one.
to think. Who would?
I remember the one year where we were watching, and every single time we were like, "Oh, it'd be so funny if the Great Khali came in," and he did. "Oh, it'd be so funny if Bubba Ray Dudley comes in," he did. "Oh, that'd be really funny if the Boogeyman shows up," and he did. That was a bizarre Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Then you have someone like Bubba Ray. He's in ROH, so that won't work.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Jericho's with AEW, so that won't work. Like, I'm really trying to think, like, who's out there could still go, still want to go.
Mm-hmm. You just make that special appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's tough.
How about to promote their show, Edge and Christian?
That would be awesome.
But they come in as one entry.
It's Edge and Christian's super awesome Royal Rumble entry.
They come in like their old Edge and Christian entrances,
Like
where
the
they
Brood?
come. No, like when they come through, like when they were Edge and Christian, they were doing like the kind of almost Bill and Ted-esque characters, you know, where they come through the crowd, they'll do like the joke that was like played, like make fun of Arizona. No, like it would be like a make fun of Arizona thing, and they would be like in the ring, everyone's kind of like knocked out around them, and they'll be like, "We're here for your what they call like they did the thing where they pose for pictures, and it's like their super pose of awesomeness, and it's like get ready." And then have someone, maybe Lars Sullivan attack him from behind before they get the pose off.
That would be awesome to see Ed and Christian.
I mean, I don't know how much they can go because of past injuries, of course.
Yeah.
But you don't even really have to be that long in there.
Very true. I would.
It's a great thing about appearances.
Another good return where he hasn't been there. I mean, a big emotional return that would hopefully pop the crowd would be Roman Reigns. I know he's still recovering, and we want the best for him, and not to return too soon, because not everybody can be Super Cena. But it'd be really cool to see him make a nice return. If not this year, then definitely next. But someone that's more practical. Let's go with X-Pac. Why not? He was shown that he's coming to NXT in the last takeover, where he had his own little "Hey, it's X-Pac" thing. We mentioned that as a joke, but he'd be fun to see. We know big bad Billy Gunn ain't coming anytime soon.
But also thinking with too, you said Hurricane Shane Helmsley. He's on ROH as well.
Oh wow!
So that's another guy who can't get the contractual agreements. That's kind of the thing. It's like anyone.
Yeah, everyone's getting stuck with contracts now.
Or I wouldn't say stuck with them.
Well,
they want to be in ROH, but they contractual agreements would keep them from doing that.
Mm-hmm. Who is a really good person that hasn't been there for a while?
I'm a really good person.
Has history with the WWE. I mean, I would absolutely love to see Mark Henry come back for a little while too.
Yeah, that would be cool too.
The Rock. I don't know what y'all are talking about.
It's not impossible for The Rock to make a return.
Not possible at all.
I would.
Oh, I know. I mean, it would be awesome to see Brian Kendrick in the Rumble. He's doing his thing, and out of nowhere,
Paul London.
He didn't have to steal it.
I was thinking Paul London too, but I didn't know if he was in that great a relationship with WWE ever since that.
I don't
fired for Smiling incident.
I know, but maybe something could come. I mean, he's probably still not in good relationships with them, especially after the interview he had where he said he felt creatively stifled in WWE. So that doesn't help anybody.
But at least
it'd be
you're on
cool.
point. It's like it's like I thought Paul London was like you, and I
Yeah.
knew exactly where we were going there. So
Because Paul London and Brian Kendrick, the Brian Kendrick, are my two favorite wrestlers of all time.
yes.
So it'd be cool to see them both back together again.
Okay, people from NXT, it's going to be a little challenging because there's going to be a lot of just from NXT talent, appearing. That's going to be in the Royal Rumble, of course. EC3
Yeah.
and Lars Sullivan, of course. So they're going to be in there. So it's going to be like, who are we going to pull up? I would assume
a lot of people that have been pulled in there and not actually stayed on the main roster.
No, like I understand that. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying since you're already going to have some people from NXT making the call up, who's going to be there. I don't know if you're actually going to have more people from NXT. If you put it there, Adam Cole would make sense. I'd also think
he made a really good showing last year. I'm pretty sure it was Adam Cole and it was Andrade Cien Almas. They both spent a lot of time in last year's Rumble and did such a great job.
It would make sense for a person to come up who you might also be having move up to the main roster after WrestleMania. So for that, I would think Aleister Black. Because I think he's going to be going after Mania.
Aleister Black would be really cool to see get in there. And of course, the obvious answer is Velveteen Dream.
Yes.
That's the obvious answer.
That's
we
what's
want
to
see
it
this year. We want to see that this year. But also,
he's been asking Vince to call him up.
DIY would be really cool because we haven't seen either one of them in a Rumble yet. And
did you ever talk about the backlash for the Call Me Up Vince?
No.
But when Triple H was asked about that, and he made a joke saying, it's like, no, he's just talking about his friend Vince who lost his phone, so he wants him to call
him up. That's funny.
And then people are like, but if he lost his phone, how he's going to call him up? That makes no sense, Triple H. Explain yourself. But yeah, so you said DIY.
Yeah, DIY would be really cool. Or, there's so many. Anybody from Undisputed Era. Even though it either would be Roderick Strong or Adam Cole to get that spot because those are the only two with that recognition. One of the War Machine guys would be cool. Or that's right, they're called War Raiders now.
Yeah.
I always get that backwards. Or there's one more guy in there. Ricochet. It'd be really cool to see Ricochet. That would be awesome. And then Ricochet and Kofi Kingston could have a
really cool
battle of who can survive the longest by doing weird stuff. That would be fun. A lot of fun. Yes.
Put a triple thing in there. You can also add in Montez Ford of the Street Profits.
Okay.
So I feel they don't really have that much for them in NXT, so they may be moving up to do. So so Street Profits.
Talking about Kofi Kingston though, it was really funny because somebody made a list of people who are synonymous with the Royal Rumble, and they excluded Kofi Kingston off the list, and Austin Creed, Xavier Woods was like, how could you make a list about influential people in the Royal Rumble and not include Kofi Kingston? And I'm like, he's not lying. That's true. Kofi Kingston is now synonymous with the Rumble.
Okay, how about this? Kofi Kingston thrown out, but he ends up in the crowd. There's nothing really and I'm getting just really tossed, by someone, tossed outside, someone picks him up and is angry. He's eliminated, so he's throwing him even further. He gets thrown off, caught by a big man, but he's like, oh, he was already out, and on his way out, so he tosses him even further in the crowd. He's not looking like he's gonna make it. But then who's to help him? It's the woman who tackled Enzo Amore. She puts Kofi Kingston on her back.
Nice.
And brings him to the ring.
That would be funny. But I have an answer. It can't happen. It won't happen. But I have an answer of who I want to see return just for one night, and that is the King of Parkour. One of my
Johnny
absolute
Rumble.
yes, Johnny Rumble, nice. Johnny Impact, Johnny Mundo, John Morrison,
Man,
all those other Johnny John names. I want to see John Morrison back just for one night. That would be awesome. He actually reps his Impact Championship to the ring. That would be so sweet. That'd be awesome.
That'd been a great gimmick for him back in WWE. Is that he was just literally Johnny whatever show he's on. So like Johnny Rumble,
SmackDown,
Johnny WrestleMania,
Johnny Mania,
Johnny TLC.
That'd be funny if he just chose one of those two and he called himself Johnny Chairs. I am Johnny Chairs.
I'm in a chair match tonight, so I'm Johnny Chairs.
But oh man, that would be awesome because he has history with R-Truth, The Miz, and so John Cena, so many more. Oh man.
Johnny Rumble in there gets eliminated by and starts a feud with Mayor of Knox County, Kane.
Not Kane, but Mayor of Knox
Mayor
County.
Knox County.
That's
his official title because it will make sense because their feud leading up to WrestleMania is an election runoff for Mayor of Slamtown. Well, I think it's Slam. Is it Slamtown? Oh, it has to be Slamtown, I think.
Yeah, I think it's Slamtown.
But yeah. So it will be an official runoff. and at WrestleMania, they'll have every WrestleMania person there voting for who's the winner.
Kayfabe who wins.
Yes.
I would say Johnny wins, so that way Kane can get really mad and just chokeslam him out of the company again. It's like, you're out of the company one more time.
Oh,
that would be so awesome.
Yes.
But yeah, that was our.
I took your impossible thing and even made it more impossible.
Nice. The level of impossibilities.
So what's the next segment? What do you think?
Our next segment is What Do You Think? Where we ask our compadres, what do you think? And it's going to be about the Rumble. What do you think we are in store for this year?
A lot of Rumble. That's what we're in for.
We had a lot of Rumble last year. Yeah, they put
Some would say too much Rumble. Apparently not Jack the Jobber for some reason.
No, well, I mean, I love the Rumble too. I can understand what he's saying. But, what is it? It was... No, brain. Work. Last year's Royal Rumble was put onto YouTube as a promotion for this year's Rumble. And I was just remembering all the little things with my family. And my aunt was like, oh, you know what? The best entrance last year's Rumble? Heath Slater. Because it took him forever to get into that ring. And that was really, like all the little details, all the comedy spots, all the returns, everything in last year's was just so fun. And we had so much fun. And we are hoping this year's is just as great. It's going to be hard to top, though.
Just thought of another thing for this year's Royal Rumble. Help out Braun Strowman, who would hopefully be back by then. In this scenario, he will be back by then. Goes, someone's in there, like a heel, and he's like, I'm going to take you on, fight. And Braun Strowman's, before he gets in, he just like reaches down, grabs the ring, lifts up the ring, and the guy tumbles out over the top rope and puts the ring down back.
Oh man, that would be too ridiculous.
Yeah. The guy already tipped an ambulance and lived in a garbage truck for like a week.
And what was that other thing?
He pulled down a lot of stuff and flipped a lot of stuff.
18-wheeler. He did an 18-wheeler too.
Yeah, I can't
the
imagine the
production
ring
truck.
being heavier than an 18-wheeler.
Mm-hmm. A limo this past week. But yeah, that would be. He actually did pull over the announce table. We threw that onto somebody. Raw. It was Kevin Owens. Yeah, but yeah, that would be funny. But as in specifically, what do you think we are in for when it comes to not only just the Rumbles but the show entirely? Don't say who you think is going to win or anything, but as like, do you think it's going to be a fun show? Do you think the match quality is going to improve? Like all the little things. What do you think we're in for?
It'll be difficult to tell.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the women's Rumble from WrestleMania was a lot better than their Royal Rumble one.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess if it's two really good ones, it'd be good. But they need spacing out more, and then you need some nice matches to entertain us in between, but not kill us. It would also be good to just be better just to have less matches. I mean, so far, what do we have right now? We have the Universal title.
Yes,
We have the
Ben
WWE
versus
title.
yes, Raw tag
SmackDown
teams.
Women's.
Yeah, Raw and SmackDown Women's SmackDown tag team. I don't think the Raw tag team is going to be on the show as of yet. Fatal 4-Way for the
Who's the Raw tag team
cruiserweights.
champions again?
Bobby, Roode, and Chad Gable.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, they weren't even on Raw this week, so it's easy to forget. Yeah, the Bar versus Miz and Shane for the SmackDown tag teams. That should be funny. If they book it right, they could be in a comedy role. I think Shane McMahon would work perfectly as a comedic character. If he would if
The
they would
world's
just
greatest wrestler?
yes, it'd be great if they stopped making him like so one way and just have him be a comedy act with the Miz. That would be perfect. Because they had a little moment where they were both holding up the trophy and Miz had cake on his hand and the Miz just smears the cake on Shane's face and you just see Miz
And
just
Shane's
laughing.
Like, does that mean we're married now?
And then you see the Miz just laughing like ha 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 and Shane just being like, yeah, okay. I should have saw that one coming. That was a good one. Who would have thought that potentially at WrestleMania we could have The Miz versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship, but The Miz is the face, and a very entertaining face at that, and Daniel Bryan is the heel, and a very good heel at that, and also Daniel Bryan is the champion going into Mania.
Well, I mean,
Who would have thought that could be a possibility?
I don't know.
I didn't see that one. If that does happen, I wouldn't have seen that one coming.
No, I wouldn't have either. But you know, it's a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think about the fact that NXT Phoenix would be better than the Royal Rumble?
Okay, I hear what you're saying, and I don't want to. Okay, the
I
Royal
definitely
Rumble
will say it
match.
was a lot more of a statement than a question.
I know it was. Okay, so one thing I will say: the Royal Rumble matches are going to be great. Hopefully, the women's is better than last year, and hopefully, it's just really good. But the Royal Rumble is my favorite match. It's my favorite time of the year for wrestling, more so than WrestleMania itself. So, I believe that they have a potential of putting on a good show and two great Rumbles, and that's what I'm hoping for. But I mean, if you look at the card, Shayna and Bianca, Alistair and Tomasa, Johnny and Ricochet. Just those are the only three that I know right now, and those three matches are enough to carry a card. 30 minutes for each match is enough to get. Heck, an hour for each match. I believe all 6 of those individuals could do that. And I don't even know what's going on in the tag title scene, and they might have something there.
Oh, War Raiders and Disputed Era.
Yeah, I think World Raiders is going to end up finally getting that win because Undisputed Era might be getting ready to get called up.
Yeah, it might be.
But with that said, even that's going to be a good match. So yeah, I don't know if there's a fifth match because usually they have a fifth
Entire
match.
fifth card.
Entire fifth card, yeah. A fifth match.
It could work out to be a real Cassius Ohno versus
Matt Riddle match.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but yeah, that. So yeah, obviously when it comes
because that's
to,
why I was taking off Keith Lee because Keith Lee and Matt Riddle are friends and storyline.
Yeah, so when it comes to match quality and work rate and excitement, yeah, Takeover Phoenix has the win. We already know this.
So far, my only criticism is that they didn't use a phoenix as their symbol for it. Like I saw someone saw someone make a good mock-up with like there's like the logo on fire and there's a phoenix made of fire coming out of it.
That'd be cool.
But they didn't use that. It's a snake themed one since they're in Diamondback Stadium. So
it'd be cool if they had a Diamondback being eaten by a phoenix.
Or the logo with a phoenix and a giant Diamondback snake attacking each other.
That would be cool.
Yes. I don't know if you got to see it on there, but his eyes really popped when I said that.
Yes, that would be so cool. I like cool imagery like that.
That's the fifth match.
Phoenix versus the Diamondback.
Yes.
Main event. There we go. But yeah, so when it comes to that, obviously it's gonna happen.
It actually turns out to be Randy Orton versus Ray Phoenix.
But he's a Viper. He's a Viper though. But
I'm sure there's a snake theme.
But I do believe the Rumble matches and Daniel versus AJ and oh yeah, Rusev is going to be there too. Well, it's Rusev versus Shinsuke, confirmed for Royal Rumble card.
There's gonna be a lot of matches with that Royal.
Hopefully not as many as TLC. Hopefully it's not 10 matches. But
I mean, it doesn't even have to be 10 matches because the Rumble's gonna be long.
The Fatal 4-Way for the cruiserweights, AJ and what's his name? Daniel Bryan, and the 2 Rumbles, I think, are going to be entertaining enough for Royal Rumble fans to where, yes, obviously those 5 matches on the Phoenix card is going to be so much better, but that's not what we're looking for this particular show.
I can already see my review would say, man, it's weird that Royal Rumble was only 4 matches, but at least they were good.
But yeah, so yeah, we'll go to our mailbag now.
Mailbag, yes.
And a big one is there any big moments that's gonna happen this week? That's just gonna, or do you think any big moments will happen this week?
I'm gonna get pregnant this week.
Oh boy. Anyways, is there any gonna? She totally threw me there. Not gonna lie. Is there gonna be any big moments during the Rumble that's going to?
It's gonna be Isaac.
Is there gonna be any big moments during Royal Rumble week that's going to just change the landscape of WWE or wrestling in general?
Wrestling wise, I think there's going to be more invasions from Elite. I think it's about time we also have them go to maybe to England.
That'd be cool.
Invade something there. Don't know many promotions over there. I know the ones that work for WWE that they won't be going to, like a Progress.
Maybe
they won't be
Defiant
going to
Wrestling.
Pro. It could, yeah.
I know Cody's worked there before.
And go to the 5-Star Wrestling.
Pretty sure they don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
But World of Sport Wrestling still does. They were confirmed for season 2. That's a news bit that we completely forgot to put in there. But yeah.
But yeah, if some company that over there.
What I'm hoping for, to answer this question,
OTT.
is that
I watched some OTT matches that were real good.
But what I'm hoping uh,
think that's
for at
in
least
Scotland.
WWE, is that
No
they
island.
just put on a show, this Royal Rumble, that just shocks this guy to make him be smiling the entire time, just like he will be for Phoenix. And we're both like, wow, what a fantastic show.
Like pretend I'm the system and they're undisputed era. And they'll
Shock the system.
Yes.
Nice.
I took him a bit to get there, but he got there.
Yes, I got there on my own. I was happy.
Yeah. No, I would love that too. I'd also love a Raw and SmackDown that would. I mean, I'm not gonna watch them either way, but a Raw and SmackDown that actually makes people hyped for it and doesn't have very overt sexism
Mm-hmm.
and great matches. Apparently, they're gonna have Andrade Cien Almas versus Rey Mysterio in the 2 out of 3 Falls match.
Just okay.
I don't know if it's this SmackDown or counter one, but it's announced, so I would assume this SmackDown.
That's gonna be an interesting match right there.
Mm-hmm.
What I want to see, it 100% is 2 title changes, but only 2. Can you guess which 2?
We already know SmackDown Women's, and I can guess Raw Women's.
This guy knows me so well.
Yeah.
It's like
Surprised you didn't want Finn to win.
I do, but I want to be at least somewhat realistic.
Okay, yeah.
Just a little bit realistic. I mean, out of all the title changes that could possibly happen, Becky getting it back is the only one I actually see. Because of, when Asuka was there, people were still chanting Becky over Asuka. And people love Asuka. So, this is a whole new dynamic here.
What the heck?
I know, right?
A lot of people
Becky
just
should
aren't
win.
ready for Asuka, though.
Have you ever wanted to see Taj Mahal dressed up as a girl?
Nope. So,
I don't even know what that is.
remember Smart Guy from the
Cian
sitcoms?
Tamara's brother.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's not gay though. And he also looks a lot like The Rock. Oops. I knew that was about to happen. Dang it. I'll show you in a second.
So other mailbag stuff.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah,
he
the
look like...
left one, he looks like a smaller rock,
Yeah.
like a pebble.
Well, the first picture is The Rock.
Can you smell what the pebble is cooking?
It's The Rock and the pebble.
Yes.
So what do you think? But what's some other mailbag questions?
Mailbag
we've seen?
questions.
Oh, I know of one. Who would you absolutely hate to see come back to the ring for the Royal Rumble?
Like come back as in
Like,
like
Do a
absolute
return, whether it be full time or just for the Rumble. Who do you just not want to see in that match?
Hulk Hogan.
Okay, yeah.
They're gonna try to find some way to sneak him in eventually.
That would be a way.
Yeah.
He did, however, he said, I don't know how true this is, but he did say that he is not interested in coming back to the ring as a wrestler because he's too old. So take that as you will.
If you have like the countdown clock goes off and it's like in memory of Mean Gene Oakland, then you know that's gonna be Hulk Hogan coming out. Because they're just using him as the shield.
American.
Doing this for Mean Gene Oakland.
Nice.
You gotta have him as a shield to stop him from booing. Don't boo me, I'm doing this for my dead friend.
Don't you love my dead friend? I know you do.
Everyone does. She was never caught saying the N-word.
Not like me, you guys. But he has been caught saying the F word when he thought he was just being filmed and he didn't know it was live. He's like, Gene, this is live. What? Ugh.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, this just makes me so happy.
Because that was just the F-U-C-K word. It's not the other F word that would be more of a slur and offensive.
Sure, I guess you're right.
That like everyone says the word he said.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Nearly,
not everyone.
nearly everyone.
Yes, there is at least one other person that I know that does not say it.
Is it Francesca?
Yes,
Yes.
it is Francesca. But yeah.
That's why I don't curse just for her because I know she wanted to be PG. So
Mm-hmm.
I try not to.
Oh my gosh, we
I
were watching
sometimes fail.
SmackDown. She was there, and Mandy Rose had the whole reveal of bra and panties, even though it was basically her ring gear just in black. And she was like, "No, this is PG. This is PG, guys. Kids are here. Kids are here. Oh my gosh, this is PG. I can't believe they're doing this. This is wrong. Kids are watching this." And I was like, "Oh wow." And then AJ Styles just yells like, "Yeah, I'm gonna kick Daniel Bryan's butt," but he doesn't say butt. And and then she just goes, "Oh, there's kids right there. Come on, AJ." And I was like, "Hannah, he can't hear you." That was funny. That's what I meant. I meant Francesca. I wasn't the only one to screw up today, so it's all good. I got the two chicks backwards. My bad. Any other cool mailbag questions you know of?
You know, always have questions, and then I completely forget them during the podcast.
Mm.
So it's always
I
sucks.
feel like we should write these out or have someone write them to us.
Yeah.
If you want to write us a question, just comment below and we'll get to your question. Yeah. If video games characters were in the wrestling world, which video game character would you like to see in the ring?
Any video game?
Any video game.
Um, Sonya Blade versus Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship.
That's another piece of news we completely forgot to mention.
About
Yep.
Ronda Rousey as Sonya Blade?
Yep. That
Yeah.
upsets me though. She's
yeah,
not a
she's
voiceover actor.
Yeah, she's not really a good voice.
She's not a very good actor at all.
No, she's not. And it's taking away work from real people. And then I think she ended up clarifying it, but like the first thing I heard is like a clip of her saying that it's first strong female character, and I was like, no, there's a lot more. It's like you're getting someone like Chun Li from Street Fighter.
Pretty sure Chun Li came out way before Sonya.
But then I think she gave that one, but then also long later in the interview she said the first one I identified with. So I guess it's because it's a first non-Asian. She couldn't identify with those Asian women.
Well, Lara Croft was a big one.
Yeah,
kind of coming around the same time, if not before Mortal Kombat.
I was joking about the not identifying with Asian things. I don't necessarily know who can identify with a character from a fighting game. It's like, yes, I too also rip out people's spines. This game gets me a lot.
I too kick up people so high into the air and shoot them a couple times that a helicopter blade just completely decapitates them. That's one of the new finishers.
Yeah,
it's
like kick him up, and it's like, damn it, Jimmy, you were supposed to be lower. Shoot, kill him.
What was one of the they had one where the dude just hits the guy with his palm, and half his face and brain comes out. That was intense.
No, okay. Video game characters. Maybe a Kratos, but I think he would do better in the Attitude Era.
Okay. I can see that.
Yeah. You can have someone like
It'd be cool to see Sonic.
Yeah.
He'd be good on 205 Live.
Should make the weight as long as he cuts off some of those chili dogs.
Did you see the way he looks like in that poster? It's not good. Hopefully we're there. As an anime fan and a gaming fan and a movie fan, I want to see a good video game adaptation and anime adaptation. And every single time, I'm like, okay, this might be it. This could be it. And it never is. Hopefully, Sonic and Pikachu, or Detective Pikachu are. I don't know.
How about a invasion angle of Smash Brothers Ultimate? So all the Smash Brothers Ultimate characters invade WWE.
Nice.
Yes.
And we'll have Waluigi actually come in and join the Smash Brothers, even though they specifically excluded him.
He's very salty about this. They're like, no, Waluigi, this is not tennis. Go away.
It'd be the Steve Austin where he joined WCW, which and
I just
by
he's
joining
a shattered glass. Yeah. By God, it's Waluigi.
And he's a part of the Ultimate Smash Brothers, even though they specifically made sure he wasn't in the game. Wait, that kind of makes absolutely no sense.
No, wait, he's also stunning the Smash Brothers. He's against everyone. It's Waluigi for himself.
Nice. For me, a humanoid character. Ooh, Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
It's so easy to take from fighting games, though.
It is. It is. But
such a concept.
I really like their design. And Jade, because we already have someone who could play Jade perfectly, Zelina Vega. But outside of fighting games, it would be really cool to see Master Chief. I mean, he'd probably end up being the next Shockmaster because of all the armor and the helmet. But until that snafu happens, it'd be cool to see him.
Be like hits on the finisher and is like, wait, that just took down his original shield. He's still back up. Kicks out immediately, and like Jim Cornette has a heart attack. It's like, no, it works as ring psychology. He has a special shield on.
Oh, it would be cool to have a Lara Croft in wrestling.
Yeah. I was also maybe thinking, as you'd be good, charismatic, and fighter, the character of Nathan Drake.
I was about to say it too. I was like, I wonder if he's going with Nathan Drake here.
From that series.
Uncharted, I believe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I thought I was gonna say Nathan Drake from Uncharted. That's why I said that series, because I thought I already said that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean he's not gonna be in Uncharted anymore, so I mean why not? They replaced him.
Score?
Not yet, but
They ended
anyways.
up replacing him now.
Okay.
So that'd be good. Yeah, so that's some characters.
Yeah. Any final one you can think of?
Let's do more PlayStation ones. Have Jack and Daxter come out as a tag team.
I meant Mailbag.
Mailbag.
But yeah. Ooh, Banjo and Kazooie
versus Jack and Daxter.
There we go.
Versus
Dog and Duck from Duck Hunt.
Oh, you say, or it was. Was it Ear Jam?
Earthworm Jim?
No, that could be one, but it was like another dual thing. Maybe. Oh, Toe Jam and Earl. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Toe Jam and Earl, and they can all have like a fatal 4-way tag team match.
And then, any final mailbag
it's
question?
like a point where Dog and Duck and Banjo and Kazooie like look at each other, and it's like, we're brethren, we're cut from the same cloth. were mammal bird team ups. I don't know. I'm always stretching. Can't think of them. Blah, blah, blah.
Well, yeah, that's a good way to
that's
cut
good
the
way.
show. That was a lot of good energy to finish it. Alright, and that was the show, Shooting with the Smarky Family, episode 26. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a comment below and let us know exactly what you think about everything we said, the news, our favorite matches, the mailbag stuff. Just talk to us. If you really like what we do, please give us those sexy, sexy likes.
And the unsexy ones.
Even more so, please hit that subscribe button so that way you are a part of the Smarky family, and then hit that notification bell because
Want to get notified for when we go live? We go live every Sunday for our podcast Shooting with the Smarky Family, which you're watching right now, for 1 p.m. Central Time. A lot of times 1:30 Central Time. But we also go live for all pay-per-views, especially upcoming NXT Phoenix and the Royal Rumble. We also go for pay-per-views outside WWE. I'm sure we're going to be doing, unless something happens that stops us, we're going to be doing Double or Nothing.
Oh yeah, we definitely have to.
And then we do other stuff as well when we can. Yes, and then
special
just get
videos
notified for
there.
when we go live. Well, not get notified for when we put out videos for anything, really.
Yeah, and then also please, and after you do all that, please share to all of your friends
And enemies.
and then just enjoy our content. Just enjoy what we do, and yeah. I guess that's all for today. Thank you again. Follow me on Twitter at IsaJ_STP.
Follow me on Twitter at Liam_SWA.
And until next time, it will be awesome. Alright, goodbye, you guys.
Bye, you guys. Bye.